Our current trajectory will require bold and imaginative action. We need nothing short of a paradigm shift, one that inspires action at revolutionary levels and pace. We simply cannot waste any more time. The only limit is our willingness to act. And the time to act is now.
Klaus Schwab, the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, came out with this book entitled CV 1984, The Great Reset. In this book, it labels out several chapters describing every sector to which the Great Reset entails. We're going to go through all of them individually today. In the book, it talks about an economic reset, a societal reset, a geopolitical reset, an environmental reset, a technological reset, and an individual reset. This is a complete revolution, an entire reset of everything that we know today. In order to initiate this reset, there had to be a lack of trust built within society, even more so than it has ever been. Censorship, political unrest, civil unrest, society turning against one another, and dividing and conquering the entire human paradigm as we know it today.
I think the world which we want to create with the Great Reset has to be much more resilient. It has to be because security, people will demand more security. Physical security, health security. It will have to be more inclusive.
It is important to remember that the leaders of this world misguide us, and we need to test everything with a strong eye of discernment and hold on to what is good and let go of what is bad. On my Patreon, you may have remembered me posting a video of a certain side of the political party. In this video, I mentioned that either side, whoever you voted for or supported, both played for the same team. During a time of great uncertainty, more and more people looked at a man who is of the world, a leader in the world, as a saving grace and put faith into him rather than our Father. But we have to remember, and for those of you who don't know, that he is part of the same team as well. The World Economic Forum had their annual meeting in 2020. If you guys don't know anything about the World Economic Forum, they are the leaders of our soon-to-be New World Order. At the World Economic Forum, we saw both sides of the political party.
Right now being introduced by Klaus Schwab, who is the head of the World Economic Forum. Again, Donald Trump taking the stage here in Davos.
Congratulations on your 50th year hosting the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum, a truly amazing achievement. It's an honor to address the distinguished members of this organization for the second time as president.
Many of you have failed to realize that the men you may have had faith in were members and speakers and attendees at the World Economic Forum meeting in Davos. Both were playing for the same agenda, each playing a particular role to rule out this new revolution. A revolution, quite honestly, means a forcible overthrow of a government or social order in favor of a new system. Each side of the political party played a very imperative role as the ingredients to start and initiate the Great Reset. We can see here that the slogan "Build Back Better" is already featured on the World Economic Forum. And if we just take a look at just these three words, we realize that building back better means destroying what we once had and once knew and building it back better to what they want to initiate onto the world and to the public. These men are just mouthpieces. He knows all about this. He knows all about the agenda, and he played a vital role in it, and so did this man here, building back better. So what are they building back better? I want to go through briefly each chapter that was written by Klaus Schwab in this Great Reset book, but I do have a whole playlist as well that you guys need to check out. For each video on the playlist goes into more in-depth detail on what we're looking at in all sectors of the Great Reset in our coming future. But let's begin with economic reset. We're seeing this a lot in digital currencies and the digitalization and getting rid of our cash as we know it, as I've spoken about in many videos, turning us into a cashless society. We're paying through technology. We no longer touch physical cash in a lot of places because of the scapegoat term that we're all going through is refusing to accept it. The debt clock for the United States and the world is ever increasing, and there's no sign of second stimulus checks anywhere. Therefore, creating people to abandon their homes, lose their jobs, and proceed with the World Economic Forum's Sustainable Development Goals Agenda 2030. Well, you will own nothing and be happy about it. This is the initiation of that Great Reset and the economic concept. The societal reset. We've seen a lot of crazy things in our society between riots, social unrest, political unrest, fighting against one another, losing trust in everything that we know and once knew and once had faith in, initiating us into a one-world government. In this book, it explains that violence occurs when people have lack of money, lack of jobs, lack of trust, and lack of security, which is what many Americans and people globally are facing today. It is much easier to conquer a nation when you first divide that nation. We can look back at this old predictive book entitled The Last President. Our brains are pumped with mindless and senseless garbage, lacking morals, lacking standards, lacking basic family human paradigms, structure. It's all disappearing. The thin line between good and evil, what's right and wrong, and what's normal and not, is becoming more and more blurry than ever before. No one seems to have structure or value that structure. And as people praise these processes and these revolutions of what they think is a turning point for the better of society, they are losing sight of important structure that keeps families strong, of what keeps people strong, high in their morals and right with God. And this is yet another way to divide and conquer. Environmental reset. We've heard about in my previous videos of the Green Sabbath Day, where Pope Francis actually encourages people to worship Gaia, which is a high sin if you know the Word of God. They are changing the food, gene-edited and lab-created, as well as initiating a carbon tax. We're hearing the word constantly of climate change and what's to come without them telling us what really is going to come in regards to our climate changing, all to fit their satanic agenda. The farmers are greatly suffering, and they're trying to rid them all of real food, real seeds that aren't GMO. First, the food is artificial, and then humans become artificial. The technological reset can be another word for the fourth industrial revolution. We see an ever-increasing amount of electric cars, and soon they will want to fine the public for driving in a gas-powered vehicle, or owning one for that matter. We're paying with our phones, and our phones are permanently attached to our bodies as of 2020, where no one leaves the house or is able to function without the use of their cellular device. The digitalization is ever increasing, and it's written over here in the agenda. And businesses are now facing more and more rules and regulations and sustainable corporate responsibilities to enact further digitalization and AI into their companies and platforms, because us humans make mistakes. And last but not least, the individual reset. They have been programming us for quite some time. This year has made exponential progress. People in society don't value morals, are desensitized to drugs, sex, and violence. They think it's normal. They think it's funny. They can't go anywhere without their cell phone and are permanently attached to it. We have e-learning, e-books, e-gaming, e-commerce, e-attendance, e-sports, e-pay, e-exercise. Polygamy will ever increase in popularity due to the fact that no one understands a marital structure, a family structure, and those who defend the male and female roles in a societal structure get persecuted. Plastic surgery has increased, changing the way normal humans look, as well as filters, Instagram, TikTok, and all other social media platforms, thus converting us soon into robots. Our food is artificial. The next step is to make us artificial. I've gotten many questions that ask me, Mary, do you think that the vaccine is the mark of the beast? I absolutely do not think this, and I will tell you why in a further video coming up. I have a lot to say about this topic, but stay tuned for that because it's a whole nother video's worth. But as for Moderna, I just want to touch on it, that it stands for mRNA. Moderna, take out the E, modified RNA, messenger RNA. And although I don't believe that this vaccine is the mark of the beast, I do believe it'll change humans as we know it. Please stay tuned for that video. I have great research on it, and you guys will be very interested. As for the rest of this video, there is a whole playlist on the Great Reset on my channel where I touch on each section of the Great Reset in further detail and updated detail weekly. Please share my videos with all your friends and family on mainstream social media platforms because I was taken away from that privilege and I'm not able to do so. And for more exclusive content, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for my vaccine video.